The breaking news is about Vinicius Junior, and we can tell you that 4 people have been arrested on suspicion of hanging a Vinicius Junior effigy off a bridge. OK, these reports coming in from Spanish police, by the way, that 4 people suspect of hanging an effigy of the Real Madrid player Vinicius Junior off a highway bridge in Madrid in January. So this isn't from the other night. This is from January. They've been arrested. It was, yeah, and that's according to Spanish police. They've just said that this morning.
Yeah, and of course, as Tom was saying, these come after the latest case of racial abuse against the Brazil forward in a Spanish game against Valencia on Sunday. But this arrest comes in relation to the derby that was played back in January. So 4 people have been arrested on suspicion of hanging this effigy off a bridge. Well, the lights illuminating the iconic Christ the Redeemer statue in Rio de Janeiro were switched off last night in a show of solidarity with Vinicius. Yeah, he was born, of course, in Rio, and he released a statement last night which describes the people who racially taunt him as inhuman. Vinicius also released a video on Instagram cataloguing the racist incidents has been subjected to this season, has once again called for action to be taken. He said, "Every ground away from home is an unpleasant surprise, and there were many this season. Death wishes, hanged doll, many criminal screams, all registered. But the speech always falls on isolated cases. A fan. No, these are not isolated cases. They are continuous episodes spread across several cities in Spain." Now I ask, how many of these racist and names and photos exposed on websites? I answer to make it easier, 0. None to tell a sad story or make those fake public apologies. What is missing to criminalise these people and punish clubs sportingly? Why don't sponsors charge LaLiga? Don't televisions bother to broadcast this barbarity every weekend? Well, the problem is very serious, he goes on to say, and communications no longer work. Not blaming me to justify criminal acts either. You are not football, you are inhuman.
Make it personal for a second. As someone who is half Spanish, I felt ashamed seeing that. I think it's an absolute disgrace. It does reflect something that Vinicius has rightly said, or something he's rightly indicated, which Spain has to have and Spanish football in particular, has to have a much more developed conversation about this. That certainly doesn't involve absolutely disgraceful victim blaming, which Vinicius is in this case. And it really is, it's something that's developed into an absolutely major problem. But even some of this whole kind of sense throughout it that Vinicius has provoked people, that's been ever present through this story from the very start. And it's, I mean, the very fact that's been the focus shows how misplaced it shows how misplaced the direction this entire conversation has been. And you can't but feel sympathy and also real anger for Vinicius.